How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had maybe you had a stressful day. Maybe it was the market conditions. Well, you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. So here it comes. What do you get from a pampered cow? Spoiled milk. Right? That was stupid. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is Zomedica. I've been getting the message. People have been asking me, Dre, have you seen it's been on quite the run as of late? So I'm like, you know what? Let's talk about it. So the agenda for this video before we get started is that we're going to be doing a technical analysis. We're also going to be going over an article that's talking about the bounce that we're seeing. And then on top of that, actually sharing the social sentiments that we're seeing on a lot of stock apps like StockTwits. And then afterwards, we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. I feel this is key for anyone who's showing interest in this stock. Maybe you might have a position as well. I also want to put in the disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice. So just make sure when you do invest, you're doing it at your own risk. Let's get into those videos, and I'll give you guys my final thoughts afterwards. So we're now on investorplace.com, and we're going to take a look at a recent article that came out for Zomedica today at 11:46 a.m. So let's get into it. ZOM stock, what Zomedica investors are saying as the pet pharma play rallies. ZOM traders are hoping for major gains. Zomedica stock is taking off on Thursday despite a lack of news concerning the maker of medical devices for veterinarians. Surprisingly, ZOM stock isn't seeing overly heavy levels of trade today. More than 32 million shares of the stock have changed hands as of this writing. That's still below its daily average trading volume of roughly 109 million shares. To be fair, there doesn't need to be news for ZOM stock to rise or fall. The stock is firmly in the penny market territory with shares trading below $1 each. This means investors will want to be wary before jumping in on any kind of positive movement. That's because the stock could fall just as fast as it rises. With that warning out of the way, let's take a look at what ZOM stock investors on StockTwits have to say about today's rally below. ZOM, once Qorvo settles the lawsuit like they have with plenty of other technology infringement occasions, we are going to skyrocket. Heska is using the law system as a tactic to stall their competitor, Qorvo. All in all, they are just butthurt. Jonathan Goodness. ZOM, very clear reversal pattern. Correction is done. Wait for $2.50 next week. Hammerzan. ZOM, oh, and maybe I should have mentioned this earlier. Vanguard added this company to one or more of their ETFs. Gotta follow that institutional money, baby. Rat. ZOM buying here. I believe we have set the bottom. Luna Eclipse. ZOM, paper hands weeded out. Shorts covering. Diamond hands holding equals good. Connor Cunningham. ZOM stock was up 10.9% as of Thursday morning and is up 164.3% since the start of the year. Investors that aren't afraid of risk also have other penny stocks to consider. There are plenty of cheap stocks to jump in on, with some of them making the news recently. So we're not going to bother getting into these other stocks. We're keeping the focus on Zomedica. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick review of the article. This is great to see the overall social sentiment in regards to Zomedica, see what investors are saying, seeing what they're feeling about it. I see this on Webull. I also see it on Yahoo Finance. And I felt like it'd be pretty cool to share this article. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for Zomedica. So let's take a look at its overall performance on the day. So it ended up closing the day at 92 cents, being up 10.57% on the day. When we check out what it tested on the low, it was around 86 cents. So you can see right over here. And it also ended up hitting $1 on the high of the day. So one of the things that we want to take a look at right away, the chart that we have in front of us is actually the 1 month 30-minute chart. We definitely have some areas of support here at this 80-cent level, and it looks to be holding up very well. And if we take a look at what's been going down even more recently as of today, we could see right here there's holding down some support right here at 88 cents. So taking this into consideration and seeing that it tested the high here of the day at $1 where it met some resistance, it's looking fairly bullish. We can even notice this from the 21-day EMA as well, how it's riding on top of it. So in order for ZOM to continue this bullish pattern, it's going to have to actually respect this area of support here right at this 89-cent level, or 88 cents to be exact. This was a previous area of resistance, as we could see here, but we could definitely see, hey, it's had some support and it's getting very comfortable above that range, especially seeing where it closed at 92 cents. So what we'd want to look forward to seeing tomorrow is seeing how well it can hold up this 88, 89 cent area. If it could start building some support and consolidating at above 90, so 90, 91, 92 and so forth, it could definitely get bullish and do a retest of $1. If it's able to get past this $1 range, it could definitely possibly end up reaching right over here around $1.05. So fairly significant. And I know what you're saying, like, Dre, why are you seeing such a big gap up? With ZOM, if there's a lot of buying pressure, we also had 77 million in volume today. So that $1 area I feel is a very psychological area, so there would be some momentum to come with that. So that's part of the reasons why I could definitely see it get to $1.05 and $1.06. And again, if that buying pressure continues, it can come back to reclaiming the 200-day that you can see over here at $1.11. If we take a look now at the RSI, even down below, it's right around 55, so that 50 area is around fair, but it is getting close to being overbought. But at the same time, this is a stock that was beaten down all the way over here, as you can see, down to 72 cents, and it's picking up some momentum, which we talked about. That's definitely being seen in the biotech space as well. But as we know, we ended up having something that happened in the market. Joe Biden came out talking about capital gains. ZOM did feel the effects of that, but at the same time ended up being green on the day. So as far as this week when it progresses, I would love to see ZOM actually get above that $1 area, and if not, should be able to consolidate and build some support, being at that 90 cents and above area in order to continue a bullish pattern. So now on fintel.io, and we're going to be taking a look at the institutional ownership and as well as the short interest in Zomedica. So in total, institutional owners come up to about 59, and as we scroll down on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So one of the things that we could see right away right here is that institutions are definitely showing some interest in regards to Zomedica. Even if we go as far back as February the 17th, right, we could see right here, there's only been one company, which was JP Morgan, that ended up closing their position. Besides that, there's been many institutions that have been opening up new positions, as you can see on here on your screen. So taking this into consideration, definitely no surprise the reason why we have ZOM having some momentum and actually testing that area of support in the 70s and ended up bouncing back fairly strong. But one thing that we need to take a look at though is the short interest. So if we take a look at the short volume ratio, it stands at around 21%. So this is actually right on the level where we say, hey, if it's 21 cents or above, there's definitely some short squeeze potential here if there's a lot of volume overall on the day, right? A lot of buying pressure and so forth. But as we scroll down, short shares availability is around 10 million. If we take a look at the short borrow free rate, it's right around 1.41%, so fairly low. So if we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, within this time span between April 21st all the way here to April the 8th, the highest it's ever been was 36.36, which was on April the 20th. So that was actually this week. So taking this into consideration, I'll be very interested to see what it looks like. I know the latest numbers will come out later on today, so I'll know by tomorrow. If you guys want to have an update on that, you can let me know. But I'll be very interested to see whether the short volume ratio goes up, especially since ZOM has been doing quite well. Like I said, it's ran from the 70 cent area all the way to where it is in the 90 cent area. So we'll see. So for my final thoughts for Zomedica, there hasn't been any news recently. So in regards to the rally that we are seeing, I just want to remind you, make sure that you protect your profits if you're in this play. This could be a dead cat bounce. So what this means is the stock got sold off so much to the point where it got down to 72 cents, and institutions said, hey, they started loading up, and then retail investors seeing this and also seeing the rally are getting into it. Also, anyone that maybe had a high cost average, seeing it going down to 72 cents will help bring their average down. Like I said, increased buying pressure will be reflected in the stock price and it making moves to the upside. Am I saying that ZOM is not going to be able to go over $1? No, I'm not. It could definitely get over $1. But one of the things you do need to realize, this is a penny stock and it's definitely been volatile. We've seen the conditions that we've been having inside the market, and the only reason why I'm emphasizing this because there hasn't been any news recently whatsoever. As many of you know already, like I've already spoken about on this channel, I've already sold 75% of my position and I have 25%. That's all profits. Even if it went down to 50 cents, I would still be profitable. But if it ends up running up, hey, then that would be great. Like I said, I do believe in the long-term prospects of Zomedica in regards to the truforma diagnostic system, but at the same time, there hasn't been any news. So I'm not going to tell you guys, well, you know what, it's time to load the boat or things are looking good. It's just a technical setup. You're seeing it all over, especially on a lot of stock apps. They're saying, hey, is ZOM due for a reversal, right? The technical pattern is looking good. Yes, it is looking bullish, but I'm going to tell you and I'm going to emphasize this to you to be careful. If you're in ZOM and you have a high cost average and you're thinking about averaging down, hey, wait for those pullbacks, right? Because if you're in this long term, I'm assuming you're going to be in this play for at least a year to 2 years or 3 years and so forth. We already know that they definitely demand in the veterinary space for this truforma system. But what we need to see, what are the reviews like? The customers that they have who have bought this system already, what is their feedback, right? How effective is it? So the fact that ZOM, which we know already, ended up saying, well, you know what, we want to actually build a sales organization so we can offer better customer support, show demonstrations of how effective the truforma system is, then you know what, that's a move in the right direction. But that's not going to literally materialize onto the balance sheet until at least, I would say, let's say maybe towards the end of the year, because it takes time to actually build up a team and to make sure that they are trained and they're well informed and they know how to sell the product. But if this ends up working out, then we could definitely see this reflected in the stock price. Like I said, I like the whole idea of the direct sales approach instead of just relying on the distributor. So they're taking it into their own hands. You can't complain about that. And I'm happy to hear that they're in that direction in regards to being a shareholder. Also, if you noticed, and we talked about this yesterday in my OCGN video, a lot of biotech stocks are starting to get a lot of buying behavior into it. So they've been running up. We've seen this with stocks like Sens we talk about. Of course, we've seen this with ZOM. We also saw this with BNGO. So could this be a rotational move? We'll have to see. That's why I'm going to be patient about this. I do not plan to add to my position at all. Like I said, there hasn't been any updates. There's no, I don't feel comfortable adding to my position knowing that the stock is running up. And like I talk about on this channel, we don't FOMO here. All right. You want to make sure that you're patient. You want to make sure every decision in regards to whether you're investing or you're trading is the right one for you. And personally, for me, I'm just not seeing it, but hey, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens moving forward. Let's see how this week progresses. Let's see how it actually performs towards the end of the month. But if it's able to gain some momentum, like I said, that $1 area is a psychological point. If it gets past that $1, I'm looking for a strong move. If it continues to get knocked down, then I won't be surprised if it ends up revisiting the 70-cent range or the 80-cent range and so on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll talk soon.